Hey guys, many of you be wondering where I am, what I'm up to, and what my plan is for this channel this year. Well, I'd like to tell you all that I'm gonna kind of start again in a way. And by saying that, I mean there's a lot of videos on this channel that I don't want to make anymore. First of all, YouTube poops, I believe they can be good, but I'm only ever gonna make them if I've got a really brilliant idea that can sustain people's interest for at least 5 minutes, and then I'll cut it down to say 3 minutes of pure gold, rather than just spewing out 6 minutes of rubbish I've just thought of that moment that day. And that same goes for any kind of comedy video. I just have a kind of spur kind of moment where I think, oh, I've got to make this, and it takes me 5 minutes to make, and it turns out being a load of rubbish. News items, I'm not going to react to the news anymore every day, because if you want the news, you can just check out news channels, news websites, papers. You know, you don't need to come to my channel for that. And I don't see any kind of... There's no fun in that either. It's just repeating the news with my opinion on it. It's not a fun thing to do. I want to try and keep all my videos at least this kind of quality. Sorry about the background noise. I can't avoid that. But I can at least try and make them this kind of quality. And I'd like to try and put more of me in the videos. Now obviously you guys aren't going to want to listen to videos like this of me just talking. Because it's not, I don't think it's going to sustain your interest. I think the thing I showed this year with my documentaries was that the variety of shots, music is a massive thing, telling a kind of story, pinging out some very historic facts, and making some kind of opinionated narrative about them is a good thing to do. The problem is the documentaries I've been making so far have been using sourced footage from news websites. And what I want to do more is make my own footage. So I want to be going out there, narrating things, interviewing people, and just setting up more information for myself to present to you guys. Because at the moment it's just all coming from my opinion rather than stuff I've found out. And that's what 2018 is going to be about for me. It's going to be about finding out stuff that you wouldn't otherwise find from the mainstream media. So in the case of like graphic presentations and things like that, I want to present information that you wouldn't otherwise find in a way that's interesting, in a way that you can understand, and in a way that you guys like. And then I want to try and make sure that there's plenty of opportunities to ask you guys questions. So I'll be putting on each video like a polling question for you guys to vote on, because I found that on one of my recent videos. I think it was our video made before the election. Do you think Theresa May is inevitable or not? And 46% of you said she was not, it was like 30-odd% said inevitable. So that was very telling, and I'd like to get more information like that from you guys, because it's much more telling, and it's much better. And I'd like to collaborate, if I can, find some other political YouTubers, maybe start live streaming some debates. The thing about my live streams before was that they were kind of, I just went online and started chatting, and it turned out that nobody was online and I was just kind of talking to myself. So I'd like to try and get more people to debate with online, and then I can have those debates while you guys join in and ask questions and things like that. Hopefully that will be a thing. Obviously I've got to find people to debate with, but yeah, I'm going to try and make that a thing this year. I'm also going to try and not delve too heavily in Brexit and the boring bits of politics, because it can get very heavy and very dull and very dry and very boring. And I'd like to stay in the entertaining side of the world, and be entertaining, fun, and just try and do something a bit more creative than just talk about Brexit all the time, because it can get very dry and dull. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stay away from politics completely. I realise there's a bunch of you that are here for the politics, and there's a bunch of you that are here for the comedy stuff. And I realise the comedy stuff recently has been a bit rubbish, but so has some of the political stuff, because I've just been churning out news. So I'm going to stay away from those two things, mostly in particular. But I'd like to know what you guys want from my channel, what you guys think, what you guys find most interesting about me. I've had feedback before, like, because I'm a young guy who's interested in politics, and most people who are interested in politics are quite old. They want to know my opinion about stuff, but so it's going to be a lot of that still, definitely. But is there anything else you particularly want me to focus on? I have some requests, and I'm going to make those requests, don't worry. I have some very loyal subscribers, and I'm grateful to you all, and I'm very grateful. Another thing I'd like to try and do, if possible, is to get some support financially with this. That means that I'd be able to go to places like Keighley and Bradford and say, hey, this is a shithole, and and then ask their local MP or the local councillor, hey, why is it a shithole? And then, like, properly, like, get into the core of the root of the story, and essentially make my own story. But that takes a little bit of financial support. I'm not there yet, but I will eventually get there. And I'm hoping eventually, things start to pick up in terms of interest in those kind of things. So yeah, let me know what you want, what kind of content you want me to make, and I will make it. And thank you very much for watching this. If you're all the way through to the end, make sure you comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.